Hello, Catherine. How you doing?
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? So yeah, I know that I've asked people to remind me to go to bed after 11 o'clock, and I appreciate that. I really do. Please continue to do that. However, I messed up today. I fucked up my schedule, so I literally cannot go to bed right now. I have to be doing what I'm doing right now. Not an option. You look like you're glowing ever since your surgery. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm glowing. Someone said I live off my grandparents. I have made a significant. My life has been significantly easier because of my grandparents.
So much for the shiny air balloon. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Appreciate you. Trans lives matter. Fucking right. How you doing, Brooke? Thank you so much. You with me, Brooke? Hello, Brooke? Brooke, I'm gonna have to move on because you're. Hello, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing all right. Thank you for the garland. Your age and pronouns, please.
I'm 24 and I'm a male.
24 and you're a male. Okay, fantastic. And what are your pronouns?
The ones of a male.
That doesn't tell me anything. You could be using she her pronouns. You could be using they them pronouns. You could be using he him pronouns. Which ones should be used for you?
He, him, if I might.
Fantastic. Okay. Um, and this coming election cycle, which party will you be voting for?
Republican.
Republican. So, are you aware that transgender people are suffering in the United States, and it is exclusively because of the Republican Party?
I think all trans people are suffering no matter where you are. Since
Sure, but in the United States, trans people are suffering because of the Republican Party. Guys, I lost my hat again. I
I
can't wear the
think
hat. I don't know where it is. I'm
I think
sorry.
they're suffering because it's a mental illness. I think
Oh, it's not. If you check the DSM-5, you'll find that it's not
well, yeah, they removed it from the DSM-5 and
because
about
they
20.
learned
No, it
because they
wasn't
no because they
2013.
learned.
No, that's because that's when PC started happening, political
No, political
correctness.
correctness has always been around. No, it's not up for debate. It is
That's
not a
when
mental disorder.
the word.
So yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We can talk about this though. Trans people are suffering in the United States, and it is your fault,
Nope. No,
specifically you.
it's not me. It's because it's a mental illness. That's why they're suffering.
No, we're suffering because of people like you who create a stigma around being transgender. We're suffering
Who's
because people bully us.
who's bullying you?
You,
How? How am
you're
I?
saying that it's a mental illness. You are
Because
a bully.
it is. You think that you're a man, but you're not. And you say
No, I think I'm a man. That's affirming. I appreciate that.
you want to create a separation between sex and gender, but yet you just went through a procedure to have a vagina, quote unquote, and boobs. So you can't say,
Okay,
oh,
Joe.
you can't create a disconnect
Joe,
between. Well, okay,
I have a question for you. When someone is suffering from mental illness, do you believe that that person deserves to suffer as a result of that?
no, but being a
Okay, okay,
pedophile, all
okay.
right, being a
So no,
pedophile,
slow down. I'm going somewhere with that.
let me
Joe, I'm going
being a
somewhere with that.
pedophile, being a pedophile is a mental illness.
Goodbye.
Okay, see,
Hello,
How you doing, Emily?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing all right? Age and pronouns, please.
Yeah, I'm he, him.
Fantastic. And how old are you?
I am 20,
20 years old. And what age? What year were you born?
2002.
2002. Okay. And what party will you be voting for this coming upcoming election?
You know, I'm not really for parties. I don't like Democrat or Republican. I'm more of a
Neither do I, but I mean, we know how it's going to end up. It's going to be Democrats versus Republicans. So, which party will you be voting for in that case?
you know, probably Republican, but I really just don't want that Donald Trump guy.
I don't want him either. But are you aware that pretty much that most of the Republican candidates are anti-gender affirming care,
I did know that, yeah.
and that doesn't bother you?
I wouldn't say that it doesn't bother me. I do think that it needs to be like recognized in a lot of like democratic states, I would say. But it's just kind of hard to do that, especially in today's society when it comes to insurance. A lot of insurances don't want to cover that. So I
Insurances are fine covering it. The issue is that the Republicans are banning it, and multiple Republican presidential candidates want a national ban on gender affirming care, regardless of age.
right. I do disagree with that to an extent, but that's not why I would vote.
To an extent. Thank you so much for the whale diving, Brayden. I appreciate you.
I just have a lot more like interest. I mean, I get that you guys are pretty small, because this is how it works. They tag on the big groups because majority. It's kind of messed up, but majority does win. So they just tend to
Yeah, and
go.
fortunately, Republicans don't have a majority.
That is true.
Thank you.
So, but you can't really change that because of all the Declaration of Independence. It's by state and by county, so you just can't. I mean, you can. It can
We
be
can
put.
amend the Constitution to protect LGBT people. That
You
is
could,
doable.
but it's very hard to do, and it's also like a lot of
Sure,
people
it's very
disagree
hard to do
with the
because
Constitution.
of Republicans.
And I would mostly say that's constitutionalists, not Republicans.
It is exclusive. It's almost exclusively Republicans that are standing in the way of LGBT rights.
I would say you're right, but it's not all of the Republicans. It's just that like it's what you would call like a liberal compared to a Democrat, and then calling it like shoot, what's the conservative versus a Republican? It's just that high level, and those are the
There
people who
might
are
be
very.
like three Republicans who are in favor of transgender rights. However, there are over 550 anti-transgender bills being pushed forwards in the United States, and all of them are Republican bills, not one Democratic bill.
Yeah, and that's the kind of messed up thing with our country. I gotta tell you, it's just there's so many traditionalists, and it's just you can't surpass that. More people are traditionalists, especially in those like smaller counties. All the big cities aren't. They're modernized.
You know how we
So
beat that? Through education.
what kind of
Better
education?
education means more people understand, more people are compassionate, more people are educated about minorities.
I would say I agree with that to an extent. Again, I don't think it should be taught until you're of age to get the surgery, and that could. I don't think it should be in our public education, and I'll say that because I think that the public education needs to focus more on life learning skills that can like
Right,
help
that's
someone.
exactly what learning about the LGBT community is. It teaches you how to interact with the people that are around you. LGBT people exist. We are common, and people can't interact with us in a reasonable manner if they're not educated about us. So yes, we absolutely need LGBT education in schools from kindergarten.
I would disagree with that again because when I was in kindergarten, I was finding out what shapes to put into a like one of those
Okay,
little metal. I was just
is
looking
it
at shapes. Those are my
is it
numbers. I don't.
inappropriate for a first grader to learn that some kids have two dads?
No, I think that's perfectly fine. I think that again, that's
Okay,
an uncommon thing. We
that's
shouldn't be
LGBT
that
education.
required.
That's part of it.
Okay, but that kid, because it's irregular. I wouldn't say it's irregular, but it's like
Okay.
a low population of people are doing that and having like adopting kids. So that can be taught at home, I would say.
But
When you're
okay,
gonna sit here and say it's being taught at home by all parents?
yeah,
What do you mean?
So if you think all parents are just gonna teach their kids about LGBTQ and the
right.
fact
I
that
wouldn't say
people
all kids.
have
I don't think all parents will.
exactly. Thank you for proving our point.
Yep,
That is
that's why it
why
needs to
it
be taught
needs
in
to be taught.
schools.
Well, why does it? I think if the parents are like, homosexual and they have a kid, right? they can teach that kid something, you know, that doesn't need to be taught in school. That can be taught by the parents who the kids it's impacting and like it's in their lives, you know. I'm not trying to say that in a disrespectful way, but
Did
So
you
the
know that
kids that
LGBT kids
sorry.
can be born to cisgender heterosexual parents?
yeah,
So
and that's what media
some
is.
of those cisgender heterosexual parents are bigots. Some of them.
Okay.
And therefore, we cannot rely on those people to teach their kids about LGBT matters. Therefore, the
Right,
school
but
has
it
to.
could go the same way for, you know, another thing like religion. That's a thing that's based. Why don't we have it all religion taught in schools? It's because it doesn't go for everyone. I think that's how it
Okay,
is.
That's not
there's no
why.
scientific evidence for religion. There is scientific evidence for LGBT people.
Not
What do you
just
You're
mean?
that.
looking at one right now.
Religion
You're looking at two right now.
religion was taken out of schools because it's being taught elsewhere. The churches have Sunday schools. There's other places that it's being
Exactly.
taught. Where is
You can have
LGBTQ
it.
being taught?
Maybe states could pass, you know, a bill or a statement to get LGBT learning centers, LGBT friendly. They're already doing that with like libraries. They're doing it with like
Right.
Right, but if you
Demo-
don't believe in it, are you bringing your kids to be educated on acceptance of people who are not the same as them? Or are
no, if
you
my kid,
teaching them the same bigoted ways that you have? I'm not saying you are. I'm saying if you didn't, but if you didn't believe in it, are you teaching them the way you believe or acceptance?
this is what I would say. If my child decided to come out to me as like trans or any sort of sexual change in their orientation, you know, like they decide to switch genders, they decide to switch sexualities, I would tell them, is that something that you're very serious about? And they'd say, if they say yes, I'd say okay, and then I would totally be okay with it. I'd totally like give them
okay.
information.
Let's follow this down the line just a little bit. If your kid comes out to you as transgender, again, we don't change our gender, we don't change our sex, we affirm our gender, we recognize our gender. You can't change it; it's not possible. Um, but when your kid says, "Hey, I'm a girl," and they're insistent, persistent, and consistent about it, they want to change their name, they want to change their pronouns. You're gonna do that?
Sure. I wouldn't
Fantastic.
say I would
Okay,
change
okay.
their.
Hang
I
on.
wouldn't change their sex.
I,
Or I wouldn't say
I
change their
literally
name
just said you
until they're
can't change your
adult.
sex.
Oh, okay then.
Okay. All
If
right.
they want to change their gender, I wouldn't want them to get
You
any
can't change
type
your
of
gender.
surgeries. What do you mean?
You can't change your gender. You can recognize your gender. You can affirm your gender. You cannot
Okay, they
change your
affirm their
gender.
gender. They're affirming
Okay.
their gender.
Okay.
And they want to get the surgery. I would
Hang,
say,
hang on. Hang on. You're fast forwarding. We're not at surgery yet. Okay. Your kid says that they are transgender, and they've already started to change their name, change their pronouns, etc. And you've gone along with that. Fantastic. That's a good start. But you can tell that that's not enough for them. That's good night, dead kisses. Thank you for being here. They're still distressed. They're still experiencing dysphoria. They would like to start a medical transition. Would you bring them to a doctor?
I I would let them make that decision when they're an adult.
So you would not bring them to a doctor.
What would the doctor do in this scenario? Give them
The
like
doctor would
hormones?
determine if it would be appropriate for them to speak to a therapist, um, a therapist that specializes in this kind of stuff. Would you do that? Would you bring your child to a therapist?
Sure, if they want to go to a therapist, they can.
Okay. And if that therapist says that, hey, your child has gender dysphoria and the treatment for that is puberty blockers, would you do that?
I wouldn't do the puberty blockers.
Okay, so then
But
you
it,
would force your child to go through a trauma. Going through the wrong puberty is trauma. You would ignore a medical professional and cause your child suffering.
I wouldn't say it's wrong.
Gender affirming care is life saving.
I would say a huge part of this entire thing is media. Media's pushing things on kids,
It's
telling them
not
that it's
media.
okay.
That's misinformation.
It's not
Do
misinformation.
you think that therapists get their get their positions by media that they learn through media, or do you think they go to school?
What do you mean? Do they go to school or go to
Do
media?
therapists get their degrees by watching TikTok or do therapists get their degrees by going to school?
Boy, do I wish.
Therapists went to school, but I would say in modernized days, they totally don't. They just look up everything on ChatGPT. They go to their professor. They give them their assignments. That's how it is.
Okay, sure.
It's totally true.
Okay.
I do that.
That's
You're
just so
speaking to
disingenuous and
yeah.
ridiculous. Like, 6 years of school, I just used GPT the entire time. All the
No, I'm not
presentations
saying
I've
like
done,
you
the
did.
clinical work I've done, the thousands of hours I've done under a licensed person. I just made all that up through GPT, right?
No,
Are you
I didn't say
kidding?
that you did. I said that people today did are doing it right now. ChatGPT's
I
not.
literally just did all this like the last 6 years. So I don't even understand.
Wait,
Like, come on.
what did you study?
I'm a social worker.
Social worker? That was your major?
Yeah, social work.
What school did you go to?
That's none of your business.
Well, why can't I
Nor
hear
is it relevant.
that you're credible? I just want to hear what school you went to.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
It
there's a
doesn't
lot of schools that
matter.
are nice.
Listen, you're not gonna dox me. Just that's irrelevant.
Mel isn't
I'm not
the
doxing
only
you.
therapist. There are others, actually. Mel's not the only therapist.
Okay. I would let him go to a therapist, but I would not let him get like boosters or anything. I wouldn't be comfortable with it because I want them to figure out who they are, figure out their identity,
You
find out
want them to go through a traumatizing puberty,
people
an
change their mind.
irreversible, traumatizing puberty,
People change their mind.
rather than taking medical
Want like
advice.
years of
Do you know what
experience?
happens? Do you know what happens when a child starts puberty blockers and changes their minds?
What?
They stop puberty blockers.
So
That's
I
it.
asked you if
That's
they
the
were
end of the
permanent.
story.
I asked you if they were permanent. You never answered me.
They're not permanent.
You know, I probably still wouldn't do it. I'm gonna be honest.
So yeah, what you're saying is that you would ignore medical professionals
They're
and you would knowingly traumatize your child.
not only are
It's
they
not
not
traumatizing my
permanent,
child. It's not ignoring them. I listen to them. I listen to what they said. I just disagree, and I don't think I want
Yeah,
that for my.
you ignored their professional advice and chose to traumatize your child.
Yeah.
not only are they not permanent, the purpose of puberty blockers, if a child has dysphoria, gender dysphoria, in this specific case, is to slow puberty down because there's an incongruence and there's severe distress that it's causing the child. So that gives somebody like myself time to work with the child and work through that and see what the best thing is for the child without traumatizing them going through the wrong puberty. And it's scientifically backed. It's a very detailed process that these kids go through. This isn't just you walk in one day and somebody says, here's some pills. That's not how it works.
Okay, but I would say that the most important thing for a child is like self-wellness and just learning who they are as a person.
That's what
I
gender
don't think
affirming
that
care.
they should.
Which is
That's
literally what I
literally
just
what gender
said.
affirming care is.
Well, that's not what gender affirming care is. That is like finding your willpower to do things. It's not about finding out who you
Do you know
are.
how much willpower it
If you
takes
don't
to
find out
ask
who
your
you are until
parents
you're very
to
old,
get you the
you
care
won't
you
be able to
need?
fully develop
Do you know
your
how much willpower it takes to ask your parents to get you the health care you need?
in today's society a lot because everyone makes a huge deal
In
of it on
every
social
society,
media.
a lot.
What?
Wow, thank you. It takes incredible bravery, self reflection in order for a child to go to their parents and say, "Hey, I am not the gender you thought I was. I need help dealing with this." It takes incredible strength and
For
self-reflection
some,
to do that.
for some it does, but for some it's easier. I wouldn't say
Sure, for some it's
faster.
easier. No shit. There's millions of trans people. We don't always have the same experience.
Exactly. So you can't just say that the most of the worst case to me like that. You have to give all of them into consideration.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I don't even. It's like you're not open to learning. You just know it all.
No, I'm totally open
You
to
have
learning.
the degrees. You did all the work. You know everything.
I don't have any degrees. I just have a brain that works pretty well and knows
And
what's
you
right
think
and
that
what's
you know
wrong and
more than
what's your
medical
job.
professionals who have gone to school for years and years and years.
Professionals can go to school for years and years and years and do a ton of research, read a bunch of books, get their major, and all what they have is a piece of paper and some knowledge. I have the
And
knowledge
you have
without a piece
not
of
done
paper.
that, and you don't have the knowledge.
I could easily,
Could you? Easily.
probably faster than 6 years.
I don't think you're smart enough for that.
Okay. And that's your opinion.
It is an opinion.
You got two
That
different
is true.
opinions. You
It is an
know me.
opinion. I do not have enough facts to say that you are not smart enough to do that.
Exactly.
See, there's this thing called acknowledging when you don't have all the information to make a claim. I do not have enough knowledge to say that you couldn't do it faster than most.
Right.
Do you understand how long it takes to get a graduate degree? Like you don't even know how long it takes. Like you're just and
Yeah.
just if you want to be a smart ass, I can go there too. I actually did it in 5 because I was admitted to a program that allowed me to do it in 5. But yeah, so whatever.
Well, I'm good for you. You're not getting your degree. That's a lot of hard work. But I'm saying you can do all that research. You don't have to take the tests. You save so much time because you're not going to class like 3 or 5 times a week. You can just research it whenever you want. You can get all of the credibility without having the certificate.
What?
You can do that in a pretty fast time, especially in today's like modern technology.
Dear God.
It's totally true.
To
I
I'm
mean, I'm
sorry.
not
So you
saying
can
not
just
to do it.
research online and do the job that I do? That's what
I
you're
wouldn't
saying?
say get the job because, still people are very like serious about having degrees. But you could have all the knowledge of someone, if not more, than someone who does have the degree.
Good luck with that.
Well, I'm not going to do it. I have better things to do, but
Better things to do than helping people. I mean, hey, if you don't want to be a therapist, please, by all means, don't be. I think you would be a bad therapist. Um, but it's very concerning that trans suffering doesn't bother you all that much, and that you're okay with traumatizing children. It's very, very concerning.
it's not even traumatizing children. People, not every single person on this entire planet is going to go to just try and go, oh, shoot, we need to start researching and telling everyone about how it's okay to be trans and let them know it's a safe thing.
Is it
Because
okay to be
we
trans?
need to worry about other things.
Is it
Because
okay to be trans?
yeah, it's okay to be trans.
Fantastic. So should transgender people be suffering due to stigma and due to legislation,
I
or for
wouldn't
any reason
say,
that for that matter?
you know, it really is a bummer. I feel bad. I
It's a
wish that
bummer.
we could all
It's
just
a bummer that we're facing 550 anti-transgender bills. It's a bummer. It's a bummer that we're at stage 7 of a genocide,
we're
arguably
still
stage 8, depending on the state.
still in developing stages. The world's not perfect yet. And some
Oh, so
people
the
are
world's not perfect
unfortunately
yet, so
going through.
that makes it okay that trans people are suffering right now.
I wouldn't say it makes it okay, but we're still a building society. Like, think
So
about
then
like
let's fight
50 years
for the
ago.
rights of people who are suffering. Let's make sure that people stop suffering.
We don't need this huge, huge uprise exponential rate. If we focus on too many things exponentially, our entire nation's going to go into downfall. That's
No,
just
it
how it
actually
is.
turns out we can focus on more than one thing at once.
Did you learn that on ChatGPT? I'm just wondering.
No, I
You're about to
didn't.
get booked. Hello, Andromeda.
Hello, lovelies. Who's the
Hello,
stinky
Andromeda.
today?
Emily.
Hi.
Hello, Emily.
How are you?
Terrible. Thank you for asking. Can I ask you a question?
What was that?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you ever like you've obviously chewed gum before, right?
I have indeed chewed gum before.
Have you ever walked while doing that?
Walked.
Yeah, walked
I
like in
have.
any arar. Oh, so you've walked and chewed bubble gum at the same time. So you can do two things at once then.
I can. I totally said I couldn't.
Yeah, okay, so like we can focus on trans people and focus on other major issues, right?
All of the other issues that we have, keeping the country like a whole, and not having everyone go to a nuclear warfare. I feel like that's a little more important right now. Maybe our economy.
Wait. What happened to a second ago where you and I were just talking about how you're capable of multitasking? How did you suddenly lose the ability to multitask?
Right now. It's not the best interest. It is.
What'd you say?
It's not. It's still not publicly like recognized fully. We are still
What?
adapting. We are still building. It's just how it is. I'm sorry it's like that, but we need to develop as a society and develop
Still
into like
glad you're sorry.
What way aren't we developed as a society exactly?
what way are we not?
Yeah. What do we need to accomplish to develop as a society for you to be satisfied?
World peace.
That's impossible. Also, that is
Proper
literally
takers.
global. That requires globalism and is not America's responsibility.
Everyone's responsibility.
Yeah, it's not America's responsibility to manage world
Right,
peace.
it's
I would say
not,
it's
but
America's
it kind of is.
responsibility to manage their citizens, Arar, and the rights of those citizens, and to ensure to protect and uphold those rights.
Yeah, and we protect them with our rights through the Constitution and our military.
Yeah, except we have the do you realize that we are by far the strongest, largest, and most capable military in the world?
I wouldn't say that's true.
The only way that we are by number beaten is China, who has just more population in
Yeah,
their
China's
military.
scary.
But in every single other perspective, we far and above outstrip them in
We
our
just have more
in our
equipment.
military capabilities, in our military budget, in our level of trainings. We literally have every capability
I don't think you
to.
understand the power
I
China
don't think
has.
you understand the significance of the Ukraine and Russia war that shows that like we have through just one proxy battle helped take down a major world government. Are you missing that bit?
Oh
We're
no,
like
I'm very aware of the.
clearly like your whole worry is let's be ready, but we don't have a foe to be ready against right now. China's not trying to start war with us, not right now. Arar. And Russia's too weak to even try.
You know,
They
this is
already
what you
lost
should just
half their
say.
military
You'll
force.
never know. You'll never know. Who knows what can happen?
Yeah, but
But they don't tell us anything.
why on earth would we not well, why on earth would we not like end up like ensuring that we have a great way of life here on the possibility that something could happen because you never know.
That's how it is. You never know. You want to
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
real.
Should I prioritize buying like food and maybe a car for my home instead of like pew pew rounds because I
I'm
never
not talking
know.
to you as a like resident. I'm talking about our government
Yeah,
in general.
except I'm using an individual residence as a comparison. Should I buy the pew pew rounds because I never know if I'm going to get raided. I'm going to never know if the government's going to fall.
Well, you should buy a couple pew pew rounds. I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
say,
but should I
maybe like a
promise?
dozen,
Yeah, I agree with you. And now America has the most pew pew rounds in the world.
which is badass.
And so, with all that considered, we can now focus on the other things. We can now focus on buying the food and buying the car and the
No,
TV
you
and
focus on
and
your
the
food
way of
and your water.
life.
You need to survive, and then you have your best interests.
Yeah. And trans population within our country are fit within our best interest.
It's filled within individuals' best interests, but it's a low population still, so it's being focused on other groups.
Irrelevant.
And also, the profit of our country is the main focus.
Irrelevant. Arar.
I wouldn't
That
say it's
doesn't change. That doesn't change anything. You're not
irrelevant.
changing the fact that America has to have its best interests out for its civilian population, and watching somebody strip rights from that civilian population, or watching them try to target that, would actually be against the interests of the American people. Because if they're willing to do it to one group, they'd be willing to do it to the next.
That's why we have this. This is why we have we have mayors. We have people who are in charge of counties,
Yeah. So, what are they doing to
Wanting to
stop
get the
what's
best
happening with
interest
trans
of the
people?
cities in the counties. It's not a high enough thing to be best interest, especially it's hard to pass with
You're
state.
incorrect.
How is it not easy? How is it easy to do?
I didn't say it's easy to do. I said it's within our best interests.
You're
It's
as an
against
individual.
your interests because you're apathetic.
It's you as an individual. It's not as a whole. It's
Yeah,
not
it's not within yours because you don't care.
I wouldn't say I don't care.
I mean, at this
I'm
point, you're
saying
showing
you
a
don't care.
complete lack of you're showing a complete lack of empathy to what trans people are experiencing within this country because they're not a high enough demographic.
I have empathy for them. I mean, one of my
It
friends
doesn't
lives
seem
in
like you
Texas.
do. You're okay with that. You're okay with everything happening because we should focus on anything else because we make up too low of a population. Do you hear yourself?
No, I hear myself.
So
I
do you hear
totally hear
how those are contradictory?
They're not contradictory. They're just statements that are
That contradict one another.
Sure. Yeah, they contradict each other. Is there something wrong with that?
Yeah, there is because do you know what contradict means?
Yes. Why do you care? Why do you care so.
It means that you're being logically inconsistent or lying. It's one of the two.
Inconsistent. It's not.
Yeah, okay. If you're contradicting yourself,
I haven't
you're either
disagreed.
lying about your personal
It's
values
true.
or your
I haven't
personal
disagreed.
values you are now misrepresenting. It's got to be one or the other. They're just not logically consistent.
I'm not. Okay. You as an individual can.
Do you know
whatever.
what contradiction means?
Oh my gosh. You've already said the definition of it 2 times. You want to say it a
I
third?
didn't. I just spelled out how it's contradictory. Do you know what a contradiction is?
You know that you. Okay. Hold on. I have not disagreed with you. I have not given you illogical statements. No, I haven't. I just said
Yes,
what's
you have.
true.
When you make two statements that contradict one another, that lacks logical consistency. That's why they're contradictory.
It's not logical inconsistency.
You literally, what?
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 Oh my goodness.
You guys
I
are
told
just
you
Keep
you were about to
Googling over
quit.
there.
Rar.
you're 3v1ing me and you just what? That's not how it is. I've said truths about what our government's best interest is, what the state's best interest is. It's hard
Yeah,
to pass
what makes that the truth?
the population, the government, what they're
Yeah, but what makes that the truth? Because just appealing to the population doesn't mean that's not within their best interest.
well, if we take graphs into truth, which we do in math, they're truths. A true graph.
Yes, except in this case, that doesn't. Except a graph and math is not what is true about the best interest of the government.
People vote. That's their
Yeah.
best interest. We take it into consideration.
But you're not establishing what you're saying is true. And obviously, by watching states actively pass laws against trans people, clearly the population size doesn't actually matter when it comes to these laws being made.
We're not making a philosophical true here. We're making just a standard true.
Yeah, except by trying to create a standard of truth, you would actually have to ground it somewhere, like some government authority going, it's not within our best interest, not you trying to logic it out through math.
Well, the government does say it's not in their best interest.
Yeah, except where?
What do you mean where?
Where?
What's where? What do you mean where?
Where does a government official say it's not within our best interests?
They speak out to people.
Where?
They do it on media. They do
Where?
They use Twitter. They use
Where?
Instagram. Okay.
Looking
why
for
are
an
you
at.
philosophical?
Looking for you to ground me somewhere.
Well, these companies are based at a headquarter.
Not.
No, that's a where right there.
Do you understand what she's asking you? I don't think you do.
She's trying to
I'm not looking for the Twitter mainframe where all the data is stored. You know that, right?
Yes, I do know that. But
You know, so you understand that I'm looking for an at.
Yeah, and I gave you an at. It just
So
wasn't
so what's the at?
It's eventually will be held at Congress.
Bro, are you fucking for real right now?
If everything goes up and tries to pass.
Do you know what I'm asking for when I'm asking for an at?
What's the at? What? No.
Yeah, I'm asking for somebody's user. And then if you're saying that there's a government official that's saying it's not within our best interest based on Twitter, give me the Twitter accounts.
Oh, I don't know the Twitter accounts.
Bro!
You think I
Oh
just
my
look at the Twitter account
goodness.
and know
It's okay.
that?
What I'm asking you for is that when you make a claim, like the government has said it's not within our best interests. Cool. Show me where somebody has said that. And then you said on Twitter, but you don't know who said it on Twitter. You don't know where they said it on Twitter. You don't know when they said it. So you're not grounding yourself in something that's true. You're grounding yourself on your intuition.
True, but you make these assumptions all the time, and this is
What assumption am I making?
I'm 99% sure. I do not have evidence in my hand. I don't have this.
What evidence? What claim? What thing am I assuming? What am I assuming?
You're assuming that they don't.
They don't what?
You're assuming that someone has not said that on a Twitter account.
Yeah, without evidence, I'm going to dismiss a claim. That doesn't mean I'm assuming. That means that you haven't backed up your claim with evidence.
You're correct. I have not, because I don't
So
have
at that
evidence.
point, I'm going to
But I can.
discount your claim
You can
as
discount my claim.
irrelevant until such a time that you can provide me the data that shows that it's true. Just
Okay.
like if I claimed for you that a unicorn existed,
You as an individual can
and
discount my claim.
then you went, "Oh, I don't believe your claim because you haven't proven the evidence of a unicorn."
Okay, you can.
So I need you to provide me the evidence of this unicorn. I need you to provide me the evidence that some government official has said it's not within our best interest.
I'm not gonna do that. Someone
So
else can
then
do it.
your claim is not based on truth, it's based on intuition.
Yeah, it's based on intuition.
Oh no. So it's not based in truth. So it's just based on your feelings. Okay, I'm
Based
so
on the,
glad
if
we
you
got
are
there.
gonna
I'm glad we
brainstorm
got there.
things, if you're
I'm
gonna
glad that we
brainstorm
got
like
there.
that, sure, yeah. But in my opinion, I believed it to be true.
Okay, fantastic. And in my
Most of
opinion,
the
I believe the
population
opposite
is
to be true.
okay, and you can.
Do
That's
you see it?
perfect.
Do you see how pointless this discussion is now?
Yeah, I see how pointless it is, but you were just trying to like yag on me. You're
Yeah,
nagging
I
on my
wasn't. I
feelings.
was trying to show you that what you were claiming wasn't based in truth.
Okay,
And you
it's
conceded
based
to
on my
that.
opinion, and I've
And
been
you
just saying my
conceded to that.
opinion. That's what we're supposed to do with this, aren't we?
You conceded to that. Because you were stating that this is based in truth. And so you conceded that it's not based in truth.
Okay, yes, I did.
So,
I don't know why you're still talking about it. I've already told you it's just my opinion, and then you're just trying to like bracket me down and say, "Oh well, you're wrong because you don't explain to the defended truth." Okay, I don't, but we don't need to go that way. We're just saying our opinions here, aren't we?
yeah, okay, then in this case, we can still care about trans rights. We can still allocate resources to making sure that trans people are protected,
Okay,
irrelevant of your opinion.
all right. My opinion can
So
be
what's wrong
irrelevant,
with
but
that?
the major populations, if based on that, our major population's opinions are irrelevant.
Who said that?
The people who, again, the people who vote in the Republican Party and like the Libertarian Party, the Constitutionalist Party, it outweighs. And these people disagree.
Yeah, but what's the relevancy? They disagree on the suffering?
They just disagree with the statement.
Yeah, do you know what an ad populum fallacy is?
An ad populum fallacy? I can't say I do.
An ad populum fallacy also means it's an appeal to populace. You're appealing to a population. So by you saying, this group of people believe this, and there's more of them, what they're saying is true. But that is a fallacy. Because, for example, if that same demographic said that gravity was actually gravy, would that be correct or incorrect?
Gravity being gravy would be incorrect.
Exactly. So them being a large population who collectively believe something
But
has
they don't believe
no
it.
basis in something being true.
The large population would never say that gravity is gravy.
But
A
that's
large
not the
population
point.
used
That's
to think the Earth was flat.
But that is the point. You're saying
Bro,
that
are you
still
so
more people
fucking
disagree.
for real right now?
Did you really come up here like making fun of education and like I wish you could hear yourself and actually understand how unintelligent and uneducated you are because it's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm actually very educated.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll tell you my credentials. I go to a University of Arizona.
Oh, I'm very impressed.
I'm proud of you.
Do you know there's a difference between being smart and just having a knowledge?
Yes, I do.
Cool. That's good. So you being educated doesn't actually tell me that you're comprehending the
I
things
have
that
the
are being
credentials
said.
to show that I'm educated.
You
But
have
again, I kind of
credentials
disagree
that
with
show
that
you're
certificate.
educated in one field.
A couple fields.
So yeah,
But I
what
don't need to get
fields are
into that.
those?
That doesn't matter.
What fields are those?
That's irrelevant.
Actually, it's not. You're saying that you're educated, and we're having a conversation here. So what are you educated in?
I'm educated in business, and I also
So
have.
what does this have? Educated in what else?
I'm not educated. Well, I have a license. I have a business license.
Okay, so you have a business license and you're educated in business.
Uh huh.
What on earth does that have to do with sociology or transgender people?
I've taken sociology and I've taken philosophy and psychology.
Cool. What does your business degree, the thing you're actually credentialed in,
I have
have
a
anything to do with trans people?
I have a minor in psychology.
That's scary.
What is your point? What does that have anything to do with transgender people?
It
What does
really
that
doesn't.
have
We don't talk
anything to
about
do with the
transgender people.
law?
We don't talk about transgender people because we have better things.
Clearly they don't because they're passing laws.
Who's
Are you
passing-
lost?
Who's passing laws?
Oh my
Are
gosh.
you
What laws?
stupid?
Are you
Well,
okay?
Holy
Oh, I'm perfectly
jeez.
It's like you haven't been present for this entire conversation. It's kind of scary.
I've never seen somebody like nap while wide awake so
Not
effectively
late.
before.
I gotta be up tomorrow. You know, I'm going to bed soon.
Yeah, I gotta be
for
up
you.
tomorrow. I'm going to bed soon too.
What do you guys do? 'Cause
Like,
I
what
know,
the heck?
I
Thank
know,
you for the sub.
Adora, I know. I see you on my TikTok live every single day when I'm swiping. So is this what you do?
This is what I do. This is my career.
Your career's talking to people on TikTok.
Yes, it is.
All right, good for you.
Yep. No student loan debt.
Nice. Me neither.
I'm a little jealous about that one.
No scholarship.
Me too.
But that's basically my opinion. I just disagree.
Thank you so much for your opinion, Emily. I'm so glad that you grounded it in somewhere that actually made sense. I appreciate
Well,
you
my
coming
opinion
in.
is
Please,
asked-
actually, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I can handle any because your opinions actually are requiring a lot of my mental faculties to have to just chew through the one. I don't know if my brain could even stand like a new opinion of yours.
It's not even a new opinion. It's the opinion I originally stated.
Oh well, yeah, I'm still chewing through it. So let's
Well, I'm gonna do it anyways. So Adora asked me, and
not the summary.
Adora, what are your pronouns?
She, her.
She, her. Okay.
Yep.
So Adora, she asked me if I would let my kid get boosters for their hormones, and I said,
I didn't say anything about boosters.
Boosters.
I mean,
adult.
yeah.
Talking about
What was that?
I said puberty blockers.
Oh yeah, puberty blockers. Sorry. I would not let my child do that until they're an adult.
Yeah, you established that. I don't know why you had to establish that
What the heck
again.
would puberty blockers do to an adult?
what did
Yeah.
puberty blockers do for adults?
I don't know. What do they do?
Did not block puberty.
Okay, then no puberty blockers, I guess.
So you lack a entire
I would say
education about this.
Your brain doesn't fully develop until you're in the age of 25.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Wait,
So
so,
you're a child.
you haven't gone through puberty yet? Is that what you're telling me?
No. What he's admitting here is that he's a child.
I wouldn't
True,
say I'm
true.
a child.
Yeah. Your brain's not fully developed. I don't know if you can handle being on the internet right now.
Well, the
Your brain's
term
not fully
child-
developed.
The term child is under the age of 18.
No, I would say that a term child would be anybody under the who is not an adult. So in this case, would be at this case, if we're going to arbitrarily define it based on when your brain is fully developed, despite the
I
fact
didn't
that you
say
lack
that.
any understanding of what that actually means, let's just carve the line right there. Let's just put the chopping block right there. Done. Boop. So
we already have a
that
chopping
means that
block.
anybody under the age of 25 is now a child.
Yeah, I just didn't say that though.
Yeah. Except the problem is that your entire groundwork functions on they can't make this decision because their brain isn't fully developed. But your brain isn't fully developed. So I don't know why you can make any decisions for yourself.
There's decisions that can change your life. Life-changing
Yeah.
decisions that you have to like
Yeah, like getting a tattoo.
self-conscious for.
Not till 25.
No, you can get tattoos removed, and also that is
No.
that is a decision
At
you have
this
to
point,
make.
pubertal suppressants typically can be reversed.
It's
So
not life damaging.
yeah, it's not life damaging to transition either.
It can be.
Yeah, so are tattoos. Tattoos can be damaging.
The most
For your
damaging
life.
thing from all this is your mental health. Your brain is not made for that. It's just not.
Yeah, except what's your credentials on that one again?
On what?
On you, because like you're like, are you speaking on truths or opinions?
This is a truth, but I'm not
Okay,
gonna.
so
I don't.
what are you grounding that truth in? Do you have a source for that? Is it your credential?
My brain is my source.
Oh, so your intuition.
Sure.
So that's not a truth, that's your intuition.
Yeah.
Do you know what intuition is, Emily?
Yes, I know what my intuition is.
Do you know what intuition itself is?
Yes. It's having a
Then
belief.
why on earth do you keep saying that your intuition is the truth?
No, I think that my intuition's the truth, and a lot of other people do. We've already
Yeah,
talked
I
about
think my
this.
intuition's the truth too. I'm sure Adora thinks that her intuition's the
People can
truth, and
have
Mel
different
as
intuitions.
well. So what's your point?
People can have different intuitions.
Yep. So your intuition does not just inherently mean it's true.
Okay, and I never said it was. That's just, again, it's my thought. It's what I want to say.
Cool. So rather than saying something is true, just say it's your opinion.
Okay, you want me to say my opinion every single time I'm about to say something?
I don't just. I'm not saying that you should say it's your opinion every time. Just don't tell me it's true, unless you can ground it somewhere.
I'm just gonna talk how someone's gonna talk. I'm not gonna try
Yeah,
and
and
like,
then and then we're gonna have this conversation for a third time, where I ask you, can you ground that, and you're gonna say no, and then I'm gonna say, so it's your intuition, and you're gonna say yes, and so I said, so it's not grounded in truth, it's grounded in your feelings, and then you'll say yes again.
or something as well.
Except I ground myself in facts.
Okay, sir. You want me to ask you for your facts on every single thing you say? I haven't said that once.
Yeah, if I make a claim, I would expect you to be able to hold me to what I'm saying.
Okay, and I do. I listen to what you say.
Cool. So what claim have I made?
Thank you for
But the
the money
only
gun.
things that you really
Thank you, casserole.
is what I've said. You haven't really said a lot about your opinion.
Yeah, I have not made a claim. So
haven't
so there is no burden of proof on my shoulders.
Because you're just like saying, "Oh, where'd you get this evidence?" I'm just trying to talk about my opinion on something.
But you keep saying it's true.
I need to have some water. Hold up. Solid. Sorry, what were you saying?
For the love of all things holy, somebody cash app.
What I was saying is that the reason why we keep having this cycle of conversation, sorry, the reason why we keep having this cycle of conversation is because you keep saying something is true. And then when I ask you to back that up, you don't have anything to do that. So it is that, so you then end up conceding that it is your intuition and that you figure it's true because you feel like it is true.
Yeah, basically, I feel like it's
So
true.
that's why we keep having this conversation.
At some time, I just don't have the evidence. I mean, I'm not going to write them down in my notes every single time I see something about this. I don't research.
Well, then I can discount your claims out of hand.
Okay, discount my claims.
And I do.
But there's a
That's it.
1.3K people also listening to our claims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your point? Yeah, except the thing is that with the debate, those 1.2K people, 3K people varying, they can hear me show how your logic just isn't tracking. You literally admitted to a contradiction earlier.
Okay, so my logic isn't tracking based on your standards and what you're saying, sure. But
no, that's not based on my standards. That's based on a contradiction you made.
What was that? Sorry.
It's not based on my standards. It's based on your own logical consistency. And when you fail to have it, you contradict yourself.
I'm not doing this with you. I'm just speaking my opinion on something. I'm not going to say that I have all these truths, and I'm not going to give you like.
But you did say it was true.
I'm going to say it's true, but I'm not going to give you backup.
Cool. Any other opinions you want to share on this?
That I disagree with the claim given that trans people are suffering in America. I think they are to an extent, but I've already talked about all that before you were here, or before you were talking.
So you disagree with the claim, but you agree that they're suffering.
To an extent.
That's a contradiction.
Okay.
My goodness.
It is a
That's a contradiction. That's inherently contradictory.
Yeah, that was just my opinion, and my opinion can be contradictory. Sure. No big deal. It's just my opinion.
Adora, check Cash App or Venmo.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, guys, 3 seconds.
I saw.
I disagree with the claim,
Okay.
but they are suffering. So
I
what do you disagree with?
I didn't say I disagree. I said I was just saying I said I disagree to an extent to that claim. I can either agree or disagree.
And do you disagree with the claim?
Mm,
Okay, I was Cash App to kick. You have a good day, Emily.
Thank
What?
goodness. Talk about a circular
Oh,
conversation and
boy.
then some.
Geez, circular, contradictory. My God.
Oof. It's like one of these 20-year-old know-it-alls.
Yeah.
You can't teach me
Okay,
anything.
so thank you for the hand heart. Guys, I did ask everyone to remind me if I'm on TikTok past 11 to yell at me and tell me to go to bed, and I appreciate that so many of you did exactly that. The reason that I stayed up past 11 tonight is because I fucked some stuff up today, forgot to do some stuff, and I had to do it before I went to bed. It was not an option. So that is why I ended up going live till now. I am going to sign off now, and I am going to go to bed now.
Good.
Thank you, Andromeda.
Good
Thank you,
talking to
Mel.
you, Doris.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Have a good
Uh,
night.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Oh, and
Thank
I
you
love
for
your
the
hair.
subs. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for the subs. Thank you for the gifts. You're all amazing. Good night.